welcome back to my channel. My name is Paula and I'm the founder of Beautifully Made. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another video. So really quick, I want to give you guys 6 tips for effective self-care. 6 tips for effective self-care. I think self-care is one of those things that we tend to lose sight of, right? We get so busy, we have family lives, we have work, we have ministry, we have so many different things that happen throughout our lives. And a lot of times self-care is the first thing to be put on the back burner, right? Because we feel like I have to handle this, I have to handle that. I'll think about my own, self when all of this is said and done. And I don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing. I think there are times and situations that come up that obviously, we have to kind of put aside some of our own personal things in order to be able to take care of that situation. However, I think the misconception is that we have to throw away all of who we are or taking care of all of who we are in order to handle a situation or in order to deal with a particular thing. And so I've come with this video to let you know that that is definitely not the case. In order for us to effectively take care of others or take care of anything in our lives, we first have to take care of ourselves. If we're not whole, then that means that we're giving broken pieces to situations, broken pieces to relationships, broken pieces to our family and our friends and our loved ones. And we should be giving a whole person to them, right? So if I'm friends with somebody, I want to give them the whole me, not bits and pieces, not fragments of who I am. And so I hope that these tips today will help you as you really make self-care a priority in your life. So I'm going to be looking down a little bit because I have my notes right here and I don't want to forget some of the important things that I want to tell you guys. So this is in no particular order. I'm just going to give them to you as I wrote them down. All right. So here we go. The first one is guard your heart. Guard your heart. This includes being intentional about what you allow yourself to absorb. Okay, so that can be through conversation, that can be through social media, that can be through the environments that you're in. Whatever the case may be, it is really, really important for you to guard your heart. Don't just allow anybody to speak certain things to you. Don't allow just anything to come into your ears, or don't allow yourself to just watch anything. You have to be able to guard your heart. I think another important thing to note here is that sometimes your season can kind of dictate the environments that you allow yourself to be in, or the things you allow yourself to watch. For certain people, if you're going through a breakup, for instance, or you're going through some kind of loss, there may be certain things that you don't want to watch, or certain conversations that you don't want to have, because you want to focus on your healing. You want to focus on getting to a place of wholeness and peace with whatever it is that you're dealing with. And so guarding your heart is super important. The second thing is make your health a priority. I'm not just talking about your physical health. I'm talking about your mental, emotional, and spiritual health as well. Do what is necessary. Let me speak to the mental and the emotional health for just a moment. So for some of you that might be new to my channel, I was married for a 1.5 years, and I've been divorced for about 4.5 years now. And after my divorce, there was a point in my life where I was seeing a counselor, and I am 100% for counseling and therapy. I think that it is absolutely something that everybody should integrate into their self-care. Why do I say that? I don't say that to make anybody think that, you're crazy or something, because I think that's what people tend to associate therapy and counseling with. I say that because it gives you an opportunity to not only express to someone how you're feeling, what you're dealing with, but then that person with their expertise and their knowledge can then give you practical tools and resources for you to be able to successfully and effectively manage your mental and emotional health. It is so important, you guys. So much starts in our minds. Okay, I'm an analytical person. I analyze, I break stuff down, and sometimes that's great, but then other times it's to a fault. And it can lead me down a rabbit hole and just into a place where I don't even need to be. And so many things start in our minds. And because society kind of shies away from counseling and therapy and all of that, and people are just like, do you, be you, all of that. But people are doing that, but a lot of times what you see is actually them putting on a mask. And so we get so good at putting on the mask, but we're so torn up on the inside. And so I encourage you, and this is something that when I am able, I definitely plan to get back into seeing a counselor or seeing a therapist, so that I can be my best self mentally and emotionally, and then also physically as well. So yes, that I'm talking about working out, but not just working out. I'm talking about healthy eating, putting the right things into your body, knowing what is best for you, right? And so I'll give you guys kind of where I am right now in my life, is that I am figuring out if the lifestyle of eating that I have right now, which I do eat seafood, but I try to stick to more of a plant-based kind of diet. I'm reevaluating that to see if that's best for me. That was a personal choice that I made, just kind of randomly. Nothing actually triggered it. It was just a random thing. And so I'm looking at it now at 32 years of age, somebody who wants to have kids, somebody who wants to be her best self physically, if that is still the best choice for me, if that's something that I should do for my body and works for me. And so I am speaking to someone about nutrition and just getting some more information in that area. And so I encourage you to kind of evaluate where you are in your physical health, and checking out YouTube videos for workouts. Y'all, there are so many free videos for workouts. It's insane. I mean, there are so many people out here doing it. And so you don't have to have a gym membership. You don't have to have a whole bunch of money, right? You just need to just have the will to do it. Just want to do it. And yeah, there's so many resources out here. And then lastly, your spiritual health. And so I encourage you every day, you guys, set aside some time. You can break it up in chunks throughout your day. Spend some time with the Lord. Open up your Bible. Read the Word of God, and allow that to refresh you. Because honestly, working out is awesome. Eating right is awesome. Seeing a counselor or therapist is amazing. But nothing can do what the Word of God can do. And even when I was seeing my counselor, she was amazing. But the Lord and his word and his love and everything, that is what ultimately brought me to my place of wholeness. And so everything else is just kind of secondary. I encourage you to set aside some time. For some people that may be the morning, for some people that can be midday, for some people that's evening, whatever it is, I encourage you to set aside 30 minutes to an hour just to spend time with the Lord, and not only just to speak to him, but allow him to speak back to you and to impart some things and to pour into you. All right, so number 3, have a plan. Have a plan and do not settle. Don't compromise. If you know that this is what I am called to do. This is the path that to my purpose and to destiny for me. Then that is the path, that you choose. And so I encourage you, of course, I'm always going to encourage you to pray about it. I'm always going to encourage you to seek the Lord on the plans that you have before you actually move forward. But if you truly feel that is what God has called you to do, then do not settle. Don't allow people to get into your ear. We're going back to guarding your heart. Don't allow people to get into your ear and make you feel bad about what God has called you to do. Don't allow people to come into your ear and make you feel like it's crazy. Some ideas are going to seem like it's kind of off the wall, but there are countless times in the Bible where the Lord told people to do some off the wall stuff. It seems off the wall to us, but the Lord has his plan, and he's perfect in all of his ways, right? And so I just encourage you to have a plan, but allow that plan to be what God desires for you. Okay. Number 4, find an outlet. What is your outlet? What do you like to do? What just brings you peace? After my divorce and in my journey of healing to wholeness, I had to be okay with just being with Paula, right? And I don't mean just in the sense of being single. I mean just being in a space, being in a room, going to the movies, going out to eat, and doing that by myself and legit like being okay. Right? I remember, I think it was last year that I did this for my birthday. Excuse me. I turned 31 and I went to the Georgia Aquarium. I kind of planned out this day for myself, and I did it by myself. Just me. I didn't invite anybody. I didn't ask anybody to come with me. I didn't share my plans. I may have shared my plans. Maybe. But either way, I did it on my own. Because I realized that I had to be okay with being with Paula. And if I'm not okay around me, I can't ask anybody else to be around me, right? So, you want to fall in love with you and the person that God has created you to be and is shaping you and molding you to be. So find an outlet. And that you can do things by yourself, but you can also, of course, do things with friends and family and all of that. So I encourage you to find an outlet, whatever that may be. I'm a lover of the arts, and so I love to dance. And so I started dancing in church. And so dance is one of the things that I love. And so, I also like working out. I do like working out, so that's kind of like an outlet for me as well. I love movies, all types of stuff, so find an outlet. Find stuff that you can do to kind of just release some stress and release some anxiety and just be at a place of peace. So the next one, number 5, is be in the moment. Be in the moment. This is something that I have personally had to work on. Being in the moment, being present. Because, I think a lot of times, we get so caught up in, okay, what do I have to do next? What's coming up? What is required of me? What do I have to do? What do I have to do? And we're so forward thinking that we totally are absent of the present moment. And so when we're with our family or with our friends, just doing something or whatever, like we are so far removed from the moment. Like we are physically there, but mentally and emotionally, like we're totally checked out. And so I encourage you to be in the moment. When you are doing something, fun or whatever, like just be in the moment, be present. When you wake up in the morning, like just kind of sit there and be in that moment, and realize that, okay, I've woken up another day, like the Lord has given me another day, and I just want to take it in and be grateful for this day. Like be present. Oh my gosh, it has helped so much. When I think about where I am at my life right now at 32 and, being single and the things that the Lord has spoken over my life and the things that he will do that I'm believing him for and I'm standing in expectation of him to do. And I realized that while I'm excited for those things, this is such a crucial time in my life right now. And when those things come, I want to be ready, and I want to be the best me that I can possibly be. And so I don't want to miss out on what God has for me right now, because where I am right now is just as important and just as valuable as where I will be. And so I can't lose sight of that. I can't be so focused on the future that I totally miss out on the present and the things that God is trying to show me and teach me. And so I just encourage you to be in the moment, be present. And the last one is to forgive. Forgiveness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Forgiveness is huge. And here is why I believe forgiveness is such a huge part of self-care. Because a lot of times with forgiveness, we tend to, or when we look at unforgiveness, we tend to feel like we have to hold on to things because that's how we gain love and that's how we gain acceptance. But what we fail to understand, what we fail to realize, is that the longer we walk in unforgiveness, the more power we're giving to the other person. When we make the choice to forgive, what we're saying is not just, oh, I'm taking that power, but we're saying that I'm not going to allow that experience, that moment of hurt, that moment of disappointment, that moment of pain, that will not dictate my future. And so we have to forgive and we have to let go. I know you guys have heard this saying, I'll forgive, but I won't forget. No, forget. Forget. Because in my personal opinion, if I have a situation where I've said, okay, I've forgiven that person, but I'm never going to forget, that means that if the opportunity presents itself, I'm going to bring that situation back up. So really all I'm doing is suppressing. All I'm doing is suppressing the way that I feel. I'm really not walking in true forgiveness. True forgiveness is being able to say, I forgive you, and I let go of the situation. That's it. I am moving on. I'm closing this door, never to be opened again. Unforgiveness has the ability to make you sick. Unforgiveness has the ability to delay where you're supposed to be because you're so stuck in that moment, and you've allowed how you feel to kind of grow and develop, and you've fed into the disappointment and the regrets and the guilt and the shame and whatever else it is. When you just continue to say, I'm just not going to forgive, like I just don't see how I can do it, and you allow yourself to continue to feed into those emotions, you can make yourself sick, and you can delay where you're supposed to be in your purpose. And so I just encourage you guys to just make self-care a priority. Guard your heart, make your health a priority, have a plan, find an outlet, be in the moment, and forgive. Now, these of course are not all that there is to self-care, but these are things that I just kind of jotted down, and I really hope that it was a blessing to you today. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment down below. And don't forget, you guys, I still have my book, Beautiful Arise, it is on my website, and I'll have my website in the description box for you if you would like to purchase it. And yes, I will sign it and ship it to you myself. Or you can purchase it on Amazon, and I won't be able to sign it, but you'll still be blessed anyway. So all right, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.